You're right about the Gaetz appointment. This is the ultimate freak out. It's so fun for me because I love to try to understand Trump's 4D chess and try to understand what he's really thinking when he does these things. And in 2016, his move was to try to co-opt the establishment. He thought that his best bet at having successful administration was to cozy up with a lot of guys who were globalists, people who were in the Republican establishment. The first major thing he took on was a Paul Ryan-led healthcare reform, which failed thanks to John McCain. And that is not what he's doing now, obviously, if you look at the cabinet. And the ultimate middle finger to the fake news and the haters and losers is the Gaetz appointment. But it's so crazy, it might work. And I was going through this with my team, and there's this concept called a recess appointment, which really kind of came into vogue with Barack Obama, where whenever the Senate goes to recess, the president can appoint someone for 2 years. So I at first thought that this was some sort of a stalking horse where Gaetz is going to get all the attention. Everyone else is going to get approved. Gaetz won't get approved. Dinesh, that might happen, and Gaetz still might get recess appointed and be the attorney general for 2 years. Unbelievable. All the bad guys hate it.
Alex, you alluded to two things that need to be put into slow motion because our people need to get a better understanding of it. So let's start with the first one. The first one is let's call it the rabbit theory. And the rabbit theory, which was alluded to by Jonathan Turley in his column this morning, is the idea that Trump appoints a bunch of guys designed to drive the left insane, but they cannot fight on every front. And they also recognize there's a very pro-Trump mood, even in the Senate, and there's going to be a desire to want to confirm all the Trump appointees. So the left is probably going to have to decide to focus its fire on one guy. And so the idea is, let them focus their fire on Matt Gaetz, and meanwhile, we get everybody else through. And then even if the Matt Gaetz appointment fails, basically, Trump swaps him out for Ken Paxton or somebody else who's going to be just as ferocious, and we're off to the races. That's sort of idea number one. But you're saying that idea number one could be combined with idea number two, which is the concept of a recess appointment. Explain what that really is, because I think it's obviously not customary on the Republican side to do these kinds of shenanigans, but it looks like we're learning from the other side.
Which we've always wanted, Dinesh. I know you've wanted this and I've wanted this, and we were maybe early on saying that we need to start seeing what they're doing right and adopting it. And this would be one of those things. The concept of it goes back into ancient American history, so to speak, where it was really designed in case when you couldn't just fly across the country easily. And let's say we were in a war and Senate was recessed for months, that the president who needed to make some sort of a big time military or defense appointment, he didn't have to wait for the whole Senate to all come back, or half the Senate to come back to Washington. That's where it came from.